Welcome back,
Oh,
everyone.
you're just gonna start it.
It's Tim's week, so Tim can do the intro.
You're listening to Engineering Money, the podcast where three full-time engineers um don't know what they're doing, but we tried to, and we play map-based strategy games.
It's true.
Most of the time.
Yeah. Um, I bought a surfboard this week, actually today,
Congratulations.
so I'm gonna learn how to surf.
Have you ever surfed
But
before, Tim?
no,
No way.
have you been?
I've done something that you haven't?
Oh no,
Whoa.
I'm
Crazy.
gonna have to be better than you at it.
I mean, it won't be very hard. You're like 10 pounds and pretty short.
Tim, have you likes longboarded or anything? Any board-based sports before?
Yeah, I did
Board-based
longboarding.
sports.
All right, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
I've got pretty good balance, Ben.
The tricky part is to learn how to swim, which I know you Indiana people, you never have to learn.
Yeah, that's the hard part. I've never swam before in my life.
You never run into water.
Yeah, the only time I have contact with water is when I wash my hands or shower.
That's right. All right, what are we
Us
talking about?
Indiana folks are so scared of water they don't even bathe us when we're young because that'd be too terrifying.
Child abuse.
You could drown. Tim,
Okay.
what are we talking about today in the crazy
talking
world of the
about-
financial markets?
We're talking about some stocks that they kind of operate in the background. They're not big and glamorous, but it's things people need and will continue to need in the future. And as we get more people in the future, they will need more of it. And I'm talking about
That's assuming there'll be more people in the future.
it's true.
So these are, if you're bullish on population growth,
Yeah, bullish on population.
If you're bearish on pandemics.
wow. Well, I'm
Um,
revved up and excited to hear what these stocks are.
I mean, these are things that we've probably touched on before, but just like water, electricity, and waste removal.
Oh, true. Important.
I really only have one water stock and like
Woda.
WODA, yeah, but
Is
more
it Culligan?
no American Water Works. But there's actually I've got 5 total here, Ben. So if you want to bring up some tickers for me.
Let's do them like one at a time here.
All right. Let's go. We're gonna start with waste management. That's one we
Oh,
probably all-
yeah,
WM.
I did them a while ago.
Yeah, you did. That's what I seem to remember that.
Holy
They're pretty
crap.
okay. Yeah,
Whoa.
they've done pretty well recently. They've got a like a 1.5% dividend, which pretty standard for these types of stocks. But
You think there's
I don't
still
know. I
more
guess
value?
This business.
You
What?
think there's still more value in it?
I don't know. I guess in this business, they're pretty debt heavy, which I guess I normally don't like to see in all the other stocks that I look at, but here it seems fine. They've got a quarterly revenue growth of like 25%, which is pretty good. It's nearly justifying their PE of 30, but I mean, it's just a big waste management stock. It's probably not gonna, double, but I just made this small portfolio of these stocks, and this is in there just to have as a few, waste management, water, electricity, those utilities.
Certainly a stable company out there. It's
Yeah,
not going anywhere. You got the dividend to keep you through some volatility.
and yeah, it's nothing too exciting, but I think it's going to continue making money the way it is right now.
Congratulations,
It's
waste
exciting if-
management.
Waste management is exciting if you're my dog on a Tuesday morning.
Oh, yeah,
Boy,
you're
is
right.
waste management exciting.
And then here's another one we've talked about before, NextEra Energy. I think that was also you,
Oh,
Ben.
Next. Is that the ticker? Like
It's NEE.
Oh, okay, this is different.
Yeah. And they're actually interesting because out of all the ones that I'm looking at today, they're the only ones that have negative earnings growth and revenue growth.
Oh,
But yeah, they're pretty highly leveraged with like $50 billion in debt and like 800 million in cash.
Holy moly.
Their operating cash flow is like 8 billion though. So I mean, a lot of these, it's like a 10-year.
So NextEra Energy,
cash
they're
flow.
they're more renewable
electricity.
based, right?
Well, they were. I mean, they started out as fossil fuels. They changed their name, and now they're trying to install a lot more renewables. So, if you're like bullish on renewables, which I don't know why you shouldn't be, because it seems. I mean, that is the way that the world is
Renewable
going.
energy is scary, and I don't understand
Yeah,
it.
because it's changed. It's changed, Ben.
it's scary because it's
different.
not.
But they. Oh, Joey, remind me of the PEG ratio again. What does that mean?
Price to earnings growth. So you look at the future estimate for how much its earnings are going to grow by, and then you take the price and divide by that. So
Yeah,
my
you want
PEG
to
is
be around
expensive
1.
for future growth.
Yeah, theirs is like a 3.5. So they're kind of pricey right now. But they provide power for a lot of the US. And especially in southern states where where they've had issues recently. So you can take that however you want.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
isn't
next
Florida?
one.
Florida's a big one of their big states. NextEra Energy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're big in Florida. And although I will say, I think I could say this. I worked on a project recently where they were winterizing all of their power plants.
I'm telling your manager that you said this on the air
Shit.
to 7 people.
That's a very generous estimate of our listeners, Ben.
Cam, do not tell anyone, okay? Yeah, but they saw what happened in Texas, and they're actually like taking action. Oh, and I forgot to mention they have like a 1.85% dividend, so pretty standard. Okay, this next one is exciting. TC Energy Corporation, which is TRP.
TRP.
Yes.
TARP.
They, I'm pretty sure, are in Canada.
Ooh,
yes.
now
They're
see,
a
this is
Canadian
something
company.
I can get behind, Tim.
Yeah, because it's Canadian.
Well, that, and this is the first one that is lower than the peak in February 2020. The other two are like up over 20% from their peak
I didn't
in
even
2020.
notice that.
They've yet to rebound.
This
That's
one's
good.
yet to rebound.
Yeah, and Ben, you'll like this. They pay a nearly 6% dividend.
Ooh.
Yeah. And they have a pretty high debt as well. 50 billion again and 3 billion cash.
It's a lot of debt.
Their earnings growth has gone down year over year as well, but revenue growth is up, so maybe, I don't know, maybe they're reinvesting in themselves. I haven't looked into it that far. But this one, they're a Canadian company, but they serve a lot in the US, so they're kind of split between US and Canada.
Are they the same type of company as Next? Or is the difference being region or?
Oh yeah, they are. They're energy. They're not like waste removal or something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're a utility. But their PE, all of these have like a PE of around 30, which is kind of silly for a utility, but whatever. It's 2021.
Yeah, everything's
And,
overpriced.
well, as Ben is certainly aware, there are regions of the Pacific Northwest that recently realized they need air conditioning.
Yes.
I
So
was one of those
electricity is
people that
important.
realized that I needed an air conditioning unit.
Well, so what's interesting in California is they will actually pay you to not turn on your air conditioning unit during peak hours. Which I'm mad about because I don't have an air conditioning
Energy
unit, so I can't take
conservation.
advantage.
Boy.
Yeah. No, it is it's 70, 73 degrees here right now. It's
So
pretty
do you
nice.
have like water restrictions in LA, Tim?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't
I'm
even
surprised
pay for
at-
my water in my apartment, so I don't even know.
Oh. You can just have it running all day.
Yeah, we just do electricity and internet.
We have drought restrictions going on in Minnesota right now.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's like odd even watering days. Like
Oh,
if you're at
well,
odd address, you can't water your lawn on certain days.
grass is kind of a stupid concept anyway.
Yeah, I try to water at the bare minimum. I don't care if I have a yellow lawn.
Yeah, Joey, just fill your front yard with more plants.
Easy.
More vegetable plants, I mean. Then you'll really have too much. Okay. Next, we're going to go to American Waterworks, which is AWK.
Woot woot.
They also have a 1.35% dividend, so standard. But their debt is only 11 billion, which is crazy. Wow. But they have not even like a seventh of the cash flow of all the others. But they're mostly, at least from what I know, they're mostly in the Midwest, which I don't know. So the Midwest generally has pretty good water security.
The
but I don't know.
Midwest is the best West.
Yeah. But supposedly we're supposed to be getting wetter in the future. So I don't know what that means for water companies. Because if you can just go outside and scoop water out of the ground, then why do you need a water company?
So here's
a
an
good point.
overarching question, I guess, Tim, for all these companies. But have you thought of, or do you know anything about sort of the COVID setbacks for individuals who were able to like defer payments on their utility bills?
Ooh. That's a good question, and I have no idea.
Because on my utility bills, I still have the option if I wanted to. I wouldn't have to pay, or like I would just need to say that I can't pay due to COVID, and then they're like, oh, okay. So I don't know if that's just a
But then you just
Seattle utility company
Pay later,
thing.
right? Because it's a deferral. So are they gonna get a big influx of cash next year
Right.
when everyone finally pays?
It would show on their books as unearned revenue, or uncollected revenue, or something, or accounts payable.
Let's see if I can find that right now. I didn't look into this at all. I don't see anything in here on Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, and
I'd
like
probably have to go onto Seeking Alpha to find something like
this
that.
is probably just a Washington thing because Washington's super progressive, but I think
Yeah.
there's
Right.
still you're not allowed to evict a tenant still because of COVID.
Oh,
But
that
the
just
federal
recently
thing
ended
ended.
nationwide, right?
Yeah, but it's still a thing in Washington.
Okay.
I didn't know it
So
ended
the-
nationwide.
Utility. It did.
Yeah.
Just like a week ago.
Well,
Mhm. So, yeah,
yeah.
bearish on people on the streets.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for. I don't know if it ended nationwide and it didn't have that big of an impact. I was assuming that the housing market might take a little dip after they had to start
Well,
evicting
That's what
people.
you're hoping for,
The thing
Ben.
that's keeping the housing market up is the lack of supply of houses, you know? And if someone's
Yeah.
going to get evicted from their apartment, they probably can't afford a house. So I think
So-
that's probably why it's not affected
Here's what I've
there.
been thinking about. Any property that's livable, like you can live on it, is overpriced right now.
True.
So Ben, we gotta find a property that's you can't live on it, and then just get it rezoned. Easy.
Easy money.
That way, it'll still be cheap.
Wow.
How's the area around, you know, melted down nuclear reactors?
Ooh.
That's perfect.
You know where the money actually is, and it ties into that, but it's like a legitimate cool thing. All you got to do is look at
What?
parcels that are completely, they call it landlocked. Parcels where
Oh.
there's no public right of way reaching to it. So those properties that are for sale, part of the conditions are, oh, this property is landlocked, so if you want to actually get to it, you're going to need to talk to all the properties connecting to the nearest
Interesting.
public roadway and get an
Or
easement.
fly in with a helicopter.
Yeah, you need an easement to get to it.
Yeah. Those have to be pretty cheap. Well, how do we get? It doesn't matter. American
But
Water.
this is
Company,
important.
it's okay. But I thought I'd mention it. And then here's another Canadian company, Waste Connections.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you heard of them?
Waste Connections. Yes, I owned them for a while.
Yeah. So what they specialize in is, well, I guess it kind of does connect. They specialize in waste removal for rural areas where
Yeah.
the profit margins are higher.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're pretty good. They only have $5 billion in debt. They have $1 billion cash flow, $1.5 billion cash flow. So that's way better than the rest of them. I mean, all of these are very well known, very high institutional ownership, but I think this one's a bit more exciting because they are trying to expand a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But out of all of these, I think my two favorite are actually both the Canadian ones.
Yeah, I agree.
Canadian
Yeah, Waste
companies.
Connections is awesome. I bought them, I think, in the same episode where I talked about waste management, like right after, or
Mhm.
maybe it was even before we started the podcast, but I was just talking about it with you guys about like
Oh.
things that are stable, like waste collection things. So I bought this probably in like
Yeah,
April
I remember
or
that.
May, and I only sold it to help finance the wedding in May
Dang.
of this year. It
Ben,
was
you shouldn't have gotten
it was
married.
one of my
Ben,
crazy
that is
cash
like-
cows. It was awesome.
That is against all advice. Don't don't have money in stocks.
No, it's
You
all
know
right.
you have
I know
expenses
it.
coming up.
Hey,
I'm doing it to myself, so it's okay. It's all kosher. It's all good.
Joey, it worked out, so therefore everyone should
Exactly.
do it. If it works out once, that means it'll always work.
That's right.
That's a very good point.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I've got.
Okay, I have a random thing that's not related to this, but I was just thinking about it on my plane flight today because I had an hour to just sit and do nothing. It relates kind of to Ben's prediction a while ago about Visa becoming the next trillion-dollar company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, if you looked at a list of, say, the top 30 market cap companies, which would be a better investment? Investing in the bottom, like the number 30 company, or the number 1 company, or the bottom 5 or the top 5 in that list of 30, right? So my
You're
point
just
is,
saying, like,
are the
you're
big
not allowed-
companies going to get, are the biggest companies going to get bigger faster than a kind of big company becoming big?
Are we not allowed to look into the companies, or just going off of you can only pick from these areas?
Yeah, I'm basically just thinking, like, suppose you bought all 30 of those companies, but weighted your purchase based on their market cap, or reverse weighted it, so the smaller market cap you put more in. Which strategy would give you better returns over the next, say, 5 years.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Ben, are you gonna stop it right now?
Oh, you can see me hovering over,
we
can't
will
you?
revisit this next week. Stay tuned.